Green is great. Green is good. Green is the plate when we eating good. Green is grass. Green is cash. Green is life. Green is growth.
Yeah.
But most of all, green is go.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's chop it up and let's get this green up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. I need to find a way to get like a applause sound effect or something going.
Yeah. Like a bomb or something.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Alright, so look, I'm going to give everybody the play-by-play rundown before we get into it.
Sure.
I'm Jay Green. This is Jay's Green Room, GreenRoom TV, however you want to call it. And I'm sitting here with Misfit DaVinci. Don't forget the $sign, right?
Don't forget the $sign.
Okay.
$sign is stamp.
Okay, alright, for sure, man. Let's, okay, you're a rapper. Do you do anything else before we go further? Do you anything other than rap?
Man, I'm an entrepreneur, bro.
Okay.
I wouldn't even consider myself. I wouldn't even put myself in just like the class of just a rapper.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm into a lot of different things. Fashion, the business behind the music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anything that we can turn into a hustle, that I can turn into a hustle for the people around me to be able to free their minds and put them in a position of being a boss the same way that I think I get into it.
That's dope. I fuck with that. Okay. Rapper, artist, entrepreneur. Okay. Before we dive deep further into that so we give people a fuller understanding.
Sure.
Of course, I got to start from the beginning. So I always try to come with a good question so that I kind of position us in our story. So for you, I'm going to ask you, where your parents from?
My parents from Houston. Both my parents from Houston, from the north side of Houston. They grew up, well, my pops is from like 5th Ward area, like spread in between 5th Ward and Homestead, Shinnickwood,
Okay.
part of Homestead. My mom is from Aldine. They both actually ended up in Aldine, and they both went to MacArthur and graduated from MacArthur High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
You from the north side?
Yeah, well, I'm from all over the north side,
Okay.
bro. Like, for me, I ain't just really got a spot that I could just say, like, man, that's my hood. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of tough growing up for me. So, like, I moved pretty much, like, every year and a half, almost every 2 years. So, I never stayed in the same spot for more than 2 years.
Okay.
But if I go anywhere that I go, it's love. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it should be. That's how it should be. For me, like getting into your music, checking you out online and seeing what you're about. I don't know too much about you, but what I do know, I'm definitely feeling. And I kind of, for some reason, I thought you were from like the Southwest Mo City area.
Yeah, nah, well, see, my boys is over there.
Okay.
Like, I made a transition probably like a year and a half ago from the north side to the south side just because it was something new. Like, I've been on the north side my whole life, and I got to a position to where it was like, I can't elevate no more. It's not necessarily nothing for me but trouble over here. So, like, if I really want to take my shit serious, I really want to get back and take my life serious, then I got to move. So, I moved to Mo City, and I got love out there and people out there, too.
For sure. You went to a lot of different schools and shit?
Yeah, a lot of different elementary schools, middle schools, 2 high schools. I went to Spring High School my freshman and sophomore year, then left from there and went to play basketball at Christian Life Center.
Okay. I hear you play basketball.
Yeah.
Definitely. We'll hold on to that because we're going to get further into that too. I don't want to
sure.
skip no stuff because I want to make sure we give everybody the green eye view.
Yeah.
Mean everything. You know what I'm saying?
Green, yeah. Most importantly, green is gold. That's hard.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, what would you say is especially for somebody so diverse in being a Houstonian, what would you say is your favorite part of Houston?
Man, I'd say just like the graffiti parts. Different.
Okay.
I'm really into like art. I've always liked graffiti. I draw. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just like the coldest artist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like I grew up drawing a lot. I've always liked graffiti. So like just like the smaller spots where people wouldn't even necessarily know. Like when people on TV, like people paint Houston and like they paint it as like everybody running around this motherfucker with belt buckles and cowboy shoes. You know what I'm saying? Cowboy boots and hats and shit. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not, it's the completely other side where you riding slab and you know riding around sipping, drinking, not doing nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So like it's there's more culture here that people aren't really privy to that I plan on bringing about, that I plan on bringing forward into my music and into my visuals and things of that nature.
I definitely agree, man. I definitely agree. That I'm gonna see if I can find a way to segue this, because in hearing what you say, I have so many things I want to talk about now.
Yeah.
But briefly, I want to talk about how before we started doing the interview, we talked about how the music culture of Houston became stagnant in some ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From a lack of creativity.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that. But then also in thinking about that, I've always had that thought that like some of the stagnant parts of Houston hip hop culture is what a lot of people associate with us, and so many times, so often, I wonder what is the best way to let people know that Houston ain't really Houston is everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that I can sit down with you and talk to you as an artist like that.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. I know sometimes I get a little talky. I just had to throw that out there.
Nah, it's cool. I like the fact that you can vibe, because really like you said when we first got started, it was like, bro, this is a freestyle. We gonna, you know what I'm saying? Anything scripted, a lot of times is because somebody really ain't got a firm grasp on what they talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't really want to have like a step-by-step process of what they gonna be asked or whatever the case may be, so that way they can make sure they don't say the wrong thing and not say what's real. You know what I'm saying? So I can appreciate it.
For sure, man. And that's what it is. And I'm gonna definitely touch back on that later, but I just want to make sure I get a few things out the way.
For sure.
And listening to you, one thing that stood out, you said one of your favorite parts of Houston is like the graffiti areas. What would you name me a thorough graffiti spot where it's like when you think of some dope art? Where is it at located?
Man, what it was, I was trying to do. I don't know. You familiar with Tierra Whack out of Philly? Okay, well she's a super dope ass artist out of Philly.
Okay.
Got crazy bars, but and I didn't necessarily know that she was in the process of kind of doing the same thing that I was doing. She ended up, I think she dropped her project after mine. But it was like, it's crazy because like the concepts of what we was doing was the same. But I did this minute series. To where I was trying to capture like a music video in 60 seconds.
Okay.
And one of the very first spots that I went through to use, and I didn't even end up using the video. I ended up switching it up and doing a completely different scene. But one of the first places that I went to was, and I don't know if they did it on purpose or if it was there before and then they just added their name to the side of it because they didn't want to mess with it. But I believe it's not Washington.
Okay.
But Club Aura.
Okay, so it's in that Heights kind of area?
Yeah,
okay.
All over there. It's all kind of crazy.
Yeah,
graffiti in the back, you know what I'm saying? Just in different spots. But like, I think on the side of Club Aura, it's there's a big ass mural that says 713 Kings, and it's like pretty much kind of like a mixture of everything that goes on. I'm a big
That's dope.
Like I don't use H-Town as much anymore. I feel like that wave was for the OGs and the cats before me. So I more so move with the Space City vibe.
Okay.
And you know, cause we got, like I said, this culture out here that people don't really associate with the city of Houston. Like we got the NASA space station is actually here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily too much light that shined on that side of it in terms of like culture, because it's like, bro. I mean, it is. You remember in the movies or whatever where they say, Houston, we have a problem. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of just like a quick, like, you know what I'm saying? It's
but
not
that always carries with us, though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so, but like that piece of art, that graffiti, it has like an astronaut. You know what I'm saying? It has like that. It's like that grit feel of the city.
That's dope. And you know, just for anybody who's listening, you know, some places you go, you got nice cars. Some places got nice cars. Some places got helicopters and planes. Some places got freeways. Some people got this, but we actually got spaceships.
Yeah,
in this
you feel me? Like
real
life
spaceships.
Like
For sure, man. That's dope, man. Okay, I'm a back up a little bit, but not really backing up. Just trying to, you know, I want to get to know you because you're definitely what I feel like a brand new artist. Brand new artist. Like
sure.
You don't really have a lot on YouTube. You don't really have a lot on streaming, but the little bit of stuff you do have is high quality. I think. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, for real.
Definitely high quality, and I see it as something that can grow over time. And the thing I like most about it is the grasp of a real hip hop principle. Like you really spit,
right?
And that's what I fuck with. I fuck with a lot of shit, but I fuck with that. And you come from Houston.
I appreciate
And that's Jen. You're welcome too, man. Because I'm so geared to ask you the next question.
Yeah.
That I almost saying.
Nah, you good, bro. Me, I'm like humble to the core, bro. Word. So like even with my niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like if my nigga tell me something is hot, I'm gonna tell him I appreciate it like it's somebody that I don't even know. Word. Just because like you could literally be listening to anything else. In this situation, you could be interviewing anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But you took the time out to do your research and fuck with what I got going on. So like I appreciate it.
And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your appreciation.
So
for sure. So what is it that made you like that as an artist? Like, prospectively, to approach the rap like that? Because that's not something that's very popular in Houston, that approach. Even though it's plenty of it, it's not what we're known for. What in your life made you like that?
My big homies, really. Like, we like, listening to rap. I used to listen to rap a lot. My pops is like, he's been an evangelist my whole entire life, so it's really kind of weird that I'm doing what I'm doing, but at the same time, intermixed with it, it's still the same vision for what he had, right? So like he started off a ministry that was called Ghetto Mission, and it was really way more gutter than what everybody has, like different missionaries and different things of that nature that go to like these different third world countries, and that's fire. Don't get it twisted, because like when you're looking at an impoverished situation and what you can do and what God can do for that situation is completely different than just your regular everyday going to church kind of thing. But like his mission really coming from the streets, like being a street dude. Like he was a street dude when I was a kid, and so I got to see his transition. Okay. So but like his mission was literally like going into the streets, like I'm talking about the stiffest hoods in Houston that you could possibly go in, and just really be trying to get cats out of that mentality. Really trying to get cats to move towards a better way of life, better way of living life. You know what I'm saying? So and his ministry was called Ghetto Mission. So we would move around, and we like just to different parts, and he would have like different, I don't want to call them Christian rappers, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, their topics and their motive was more based towards the church. You know what I'm saying? But like, so I would listen to them kind of cats, and I would always rock with the information. You know what I'm saying? I would always rock with the idea of somebody trying to impact somebody else's life. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like whenever you don't get, because I rock with a lot of music, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna like what they would call mumble rap, or what they would call just like some hype rap, or whatever the case may be. Like I like this, I like the sound, but at the same time it just kind of like segued from my pops to me, you know what I'm saying? So me getting into like 50 Cent came from my partners that I met in between the grind of being around my pops, you know what I'm saying? So then we all cool. Oh, bro, you ever heard 50 Cent? Yeah. Nah, who is 50 Cent? You know what I'm saying? When he first dropped, before, you know what I'm saying, before Get Rich, Die Trying, all that. But who is 50 Cent? Right. Well, he don't sound like nothing that we got out here. Like, okay, well, who else is from up north? I mean, from up north or from the East Coast? And then, just different cats like that, and then learning and hearing their rhyme schemes and different things of that nature, it always made me interested. It always made me like, I like to be different. I always been different. That was one of the things that my dad always drove home. You know what I'm saying? Just like, bro, don't be like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You got your own swag, you got your own mind, you got your own what you do. So just like take different bits and pieces of what you like and morph into your own personality. Yeah, that's dope. That's very dope, and I respect that too. I admire that shit too. And then when I listen to your shit, of course, definitely you sound different. You know what I'm saying? And I think it takes a bold person, especially the one in today's rap game, to come at it like that. But I find that to be like real cool. You know what I'm saying? That's how you came up. You and your pops still close? Yeah, man. Like that's a big piece of music that I want to be able to implement as well too. Cause like that's one of the main things that really impacted my life. Like a lot of the cats that I have around me didn't have a father in their life, and a lot of times when you listen to music, the majority of the base point is, I'm doing this for my mama. I'm doing this because my mama did this for me or whatever. A lot of niggas say fuck a dad, you know what I'm saying? And different things. So there's like a stigma on being a father that is put into the rap as far as like the pain side of it. And so I want to showcase a different side of it, because my father was there for me, but at the same time, it wasn't always peaches and cream. We went through a lot of struggles. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went through a lot of times where, like, him trying to be on the right side of things, coming from the streets, doing shit in the streets, and then saying, okay, well, and then my mama saying, all right, well, you can't be around your kid if you're going to be doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So then you got to make this transition into learning how you going to be able to make ends meet when the only thing that you know is street money. You know what I'm saying? Right. So then you fall into a situation to where, you know, we struggled it throughout different years or whatever the case may be, but he never left. He was always there. He was always in a position to where he was giving me game like I was his homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and putting that in my face as much as possible. And so that's one of the things that I really want to put into music, because I just had a son not too long ago, and I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah, that's something as you was talking, I was like, I'm gonna ask him now, but I'm gonna ask him later, because you know we're kind of delving into fatherhood too. So
yeah. But yeah, that's a big piece of it, bro. Like my pops is a big piece of my life. Like he's like not just my father, he's my partner. Like in real life, you know
that's
what I'm saying?
Up, man. That's what's up. How old, you just had a son?
Yeah, I just had a son. He said he'll be 7 months old on the 29th.
That's what's up, man. Congratulations. I bet you're ready to keep that cycle going.
Yeah, man. Yeah, in a different way, though. In a different way.
Right. Every generation has to be better than the last.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's something my mother always told me.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
For sure.
I respect that. What would you say is the best piece of game Pops gave you?
The best piece of game? Ain't nobody better than you. They just started before you.
That's dope, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people do a lot of different things. A lot of people talented in a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? And you can't nobody ever tell you that you can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? This mind is so important. You know what I'm saying? And it can do whatever as long as you can get past the point of frustration and knowing that you don't know how to do it yet. Then you stay at it and you keep going, and you can achieve whatever it is that you want to.
That's what's up. The main thing I got from you when I was listening to your music was that I hear the lyrics, I hear your rap skills, but vibe-wise and understanding I took from you someone who was young but is very strong-minded, like you had your head on your shoulders really tight, and I fucks with it.
Yeah.
Like you say, you were 25.
Yeah,
25. If I was 50, and I ain't 50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nowhere near 50. But if I was 50,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had a daughter that was 25, and I'm listening to you, and I don't got no kids.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to you, I'll be like, okay, this was the type of nigga I would want to put my daughter with. So you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Ladies watching, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I just threw you one. You know what I'm saying? I just threw you one.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
But and that's based on what you think, you know what I'm saying? That's the ultimate power.
That take a lot for in this generation, man, for another nigga to say, man, I respect your mind. You know what I'm saying? I respect what you got going on from an intellectual standpoint, because it don't get that deep no more, man. It's like shit. What can you do for me? What can I do for you? I bet no, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't just too much give a damn about the existence of a person no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's really big, like on my side. Like shit, for me, I ain't never been the type of person that's like, okay, well, what can you do for me? You know what I'm saying? For me to be in a position to where I hang out with you, like it's like shit. I give a damn about people's existence. That's the reason why I rap, to be able to put myself in a position to where somebody say, man, I listened to what you were saying, and that shit made me think about what my situation completely different. You know what I'm saying? That shit made me think about what I had going on completely different, and instead of being hungry to go get something that's not gonna feed my soul, you know what I'm saying? I slowed down and put myself in a position to think longevity instead of just right now.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. That's some dope shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel that, and I've had to grow into that to be able to like see past all the like superfluous detail and really be able to look into the character of a person and know how to conduct myself and give positive energy and feedback and critique of people. So it's like, you know, it comes with time and it comes with everything, but you got it, man.
Yeah, bro. Like that's like I listened to J-Dog a lot when I was younger. Okay. And so I watched a lot of his interviews, and I still listen to, you know what I'm saying? I still listen to what he's saying, and it was one thing that he said recently that just kind of like made it pop for me. And you know, you kind of get it. You kind of had an understanding that a lot of times whenever you're an intellectual person, like you kind of have these understandings in your head, but it takes for somebody else to say it in a different way for you to be like, damn, I knew I was right. You know what I'm saying? But like one thing that he said was like, man, like shit, without God, You know what I'm saying? And it's in the Bible as well. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says the heart of a man is deceitfully wicked. You know what I'm saying? Like, who would know? But at the same time, without God, like, every human is human. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna make a mistake. Everybody's gonna do whatever it is that they do in their spare time or whatever the case may be. But if you take a step back and you realize, well, shit, nigga, we not God, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody gonna be God. That's the reason why God is God. You know what I'm saying? So you take a step away from that and you put that into perspective. You say, okay, well, you know, this person, if I seen how somebody moved or whatever, that might have made me be like, I don't know. Like, shit, you got to take a step back and always get back to your root and understanding why you doing what you're doing and the person that you was made to be.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Like a motherfucker. Wise words by the young veteran. Right, by the young veteran.
Yeah.
When you said that, it made me think, like, I was watching one of your videos. I remember at the beginning you had the Psalms verse.
Yeah, Psalms 91.
Psalms 91. And then you also, you know, you come from that with your father doing the ministries type of thing.
Yeah.
Is religion, not necessarily religion or even spirituality, or if you have a religion, is that a big part of, you know, I wouldn't want to say that you're a gospel rapper.
Yeah.
But is that a big part of what
it's not
you got going?
It's not a big, I ain't gonna say it's a big part of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have a religion?
The way that I ain't gonna say that I practice religion. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I feel like religion brings a lot of division. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's one God. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I practice Christian faith. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I feel like more so Christianity is like is a lifestyle more than a religion. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When you put religion on it, you start bringing a lot more what's the word that I'm looking for? Judgment. You know what I'm saying? You start putting yourself in a position of feeling like, okay, well, I practice this religion. This is what this is. Well, you can't possibly be what I am if you do what you do. You know what I'm saying? And that type of shit drives a lot of people away from being cordial with each other, even being friends, because they're looking at you like you feel like you're better than them because you got more discipline. You know what I'm saying? Because you do things in a different way. So I ain't gonna say that I practice a religion, but I practice the Christian faith. You know what I'm saying? I try to do unto others as they would. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
And that religion, in that regard, but it's a big part of who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily something that I'm just gonna be in a position to where I'm just like super rhyming about. But at the same time, I use it as a base because it's a lot of people. Because I got a lot of information. I got a lot of information early. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's a big part of the stigma of maturity when they talk about age and being young. Like it ain't even about age though. You know what I'm saying? It's really about you know what I'm saying, experiencing things and being privy to information. And a lot of people are not privy to the same type of information till later on in their life, and that's what they call maturity.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But the information is there regardless.
Yeah, it's just you tapping into it and actually finding it or it being presented to you at whatever time that it is. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. How will you raise your son? What will you tell him about Christianity, or not even necessarily Christianity, but religion and spirituality? What would be one main spiritual moral that you want to impress upon your son?
Man, as far as teaching him, I'm gonna make sure that he's in church. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's a big. There was almost, because like in Christianity and then going to church, like whenever you young, like your grandmas and your mamas and your aunties and the ones that's making sure that you there, and you almost get to a point to where it's like a brainwash feel. Mm-hmm. But without that base, you know what I'm saying, you gotta have that base for you to be strong enough to whenever you do get outside into this world and you get out and you going and seeing all of this wild ass shit that's going on. It's like you always have a root. You always have something to go back to be able to feed your spirit and be able to put you back in a position to say, okay, well, whew, this world done beat me up for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I've been out here grinding, out here trying to make it and do what I gotta do, but you know, I got something to go back to. I got something that'll help me feed my spirit. So I'm gonna have him in there, and I guess to answer your question directly in terms of what I'm gonna teach him, is doing others as you would have them doing to you. But then at the same time, don't expect it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta be wise.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? What I do what I do to be able to put good energy into the world. Not just into people, but into the world, period. Because people ain't all the time. People aren't me. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest things that I had to realize in my life, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a gloating thing. It's just understanding, like, you are who you are. God made you who you are for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, and in knowing that, you got to be able to understand that and harness that and continue to put the kind of energy that he put inside you back into the world. And if it comes back to you as negativity, it's not nothing that you're doing wrong. It's just people ain't come up like you. Yeah. People ain't grow the same way that you do. So their interpretation might not be the same way. You know what I'm saying? They might feel like you a lit. Like, oh, this nigga doing something for me. You know what I'm saying? Or that's the bit. I can take advantage of that. But it's not for me to feel bad or feel like I'm, you know what I'm saying? Or like, fuck that nigga then. You know what I'm saying? He took advantage of what I was, my courtesy or my niceness. It's like, nah, bro, you just missed that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a blessing to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you just have to take that as a learning experience.
Yeah.
You know, take it as a wrinkle in your brain and move on.
Yeah,
but you maneuver differently or however accordingly.
Yeah.
For sure, man. For sure.
For sure.
Man, smart dude, man. I'm fucking with you, brother.
I appreciate it.
Fucking with you, man. So listen, if I'm fucking with you, we gotta get other people to fuck with you. So listen, now we at the part, my favorite part, when we talk about this music.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, earlier you said J-Dog.
Yeah.
Who would you say is your favorite rapper? Your just favorite. I'm
favorite
not saying
rapper.
The rapper that everybody needs to think is the greatest of all time. Who is your favorite rapper?
Who is my favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Favorite rapper, man, it's just up there, bro. I got a lot of artists that I like to listen to, but overall, for substance purposes, the motherfucker that I can say, like, the very first time I heard that nigga music, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I can relate to a lot of this shit. Is Zero.
Okay.
Like, and when I'm harmonizing and things of that nature, you'll kind of hear. You'll hear an influence of where that's coming from, but majority of the time, just like the realism, the shit that he would talk about it. I feel like Ro was really like so far ahead of his time, dog, that like he should be up there with like the J. Cole's and the Nas's and the different people like that, but because of his business situations and the things that he had going on behind the scenes from the research that I've done and what he's put out, you know what I'm saying, the information that you can be privy to know what's going on or what was going on. I feel like he was just way before his time, dog. Like, if you put out like the realism and the shit, then like niggas like, man, this nigga J. Cole, like this nigga J. Cole, this nigga keeping it real, da 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 da. And it's like, man, this nigga Ro been talking about that shit since 9 Deuce, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But y'all wasn't ready for it. Like, the world wasn't ready for that depth of realism. You know what I'm saying? But with the hype and social media and people really wanting to know what's really going on out here and what's really, you know what I'm saying, the depth of a lot of different things. I feel like he was a real big influence on me. J-Dog as well. Like, I'd be listening. I was working the graveyard shift when I was like 18. I graduated high school when I was 17.
That's dope.
So like I was 18 and when I found out that I wasn't gonna be, you know, playing ball or whatever, it was like, man, I gotta grind, I gotta give me some money, bro. Like, I can't be broke. Fuck the bullshit. I gotta be, you know what I'm saying? I still gotta get some paper. And so I would be listening to them, you know what I'm saying? And I listen to J-Dog say some shit like, okay, we talking about the root of all evil, so never put it before God or your people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get your heart right before this green type shit. Like, I feel like realism it has always just really stuck with me, bro. So when we talk about artists, I say Ro number one for sure.
Would you say Ro's the greatest Houston rapper? Well, but I always want to see, like, okay, let's say, for you, Ro's the greatest Houston rapper of all time.
Nah. I ain't gonna say that.
Okay.
I ain't gonna say the greatest Houston rapper of all time. But then at the same time, when you talking about the greatest,
I would say it would.
It's opinionated. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come from what you relate to and the reason why you kind of got into the music. Because great can be deciphered on so many different levels. You know what I'm saying?
Check this out. Do you opinionated? I understand that. Do you believe there's a such thing as an expert opinion?
Expert opinion. And I had to do the research. If expert is derived from a place of experience, then yeah, Like if you being in this shit, like, and knowing, you know what I'm saying, as far as, because like I said, man, like right now, bro, Travis Scott going crazy.
Yeah.
Travis Scott doing some shit that I ain't never seen nobody in the city of Houston do. Right. You know what I'm saying? But he don't even consider himself a rapper.
Do you consider himself? Do you consider him a rapper?
Nah. I consider him an all-around artist, man. Just because of the way that he shaped shit. Like he's been him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been who he's going to be, regardless of the critics. You know what I'm saying? But then you also got to think too. Like another big influence. One of my first songs that I actually put out was actually not one of them. The actual first song that I ever put out was a I'm gonna say it's a freestyle, but like a free run over Mind Playing Tricks on Me by the Ghetto Boys.
Okay.
And
what year did you put that out?
2 years ago.
Okay. You knew for real.
Yeah, for sure.
You got it. Go ahead though.
But I put that out, and you know, like, cause Face was like one of my pop's biggest influences. Even though, you know, he ain't just really trying to put me on too much like crazy gangster rap, because he knows the influence that it has, you know what I'm saying, over your mentality and things of that nature. But he, you know, Face is real, and Face is from his block where he at, you know, where he was from. So like listening to Scarface and listening to that in that time frame, like Face could be one of the ones that you could say is like one of the greatest rappers to come out of Houston. Shit, he got records with who the cats that you would say is the best artist ever, Tupac. You know what I'm saying? He got records with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? And I actually got to meet Face. It was a wild ass situation. Like once I put the record out, me and my boys and my team, everybody just like was blasting him, and then he hit me on Twitter, and I linked with him at one of his shows, and we chopped it up. And we didn't really get to chop it up too in depth. He was just like, we dabbed, told me he fuck with my music, and he told me don't get lost. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes less is more.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He told me don't get lost, and that was a dope ass experience. But yeah, when you're talking about who the greatest artist could be, man, like I feel like it comes with impact in your generation. You know what I'm saying? I feel like wherever you was at, whatever you was doing, if you used your platform to your full advantage, you know what I'm saying, and you did what you were supposed to do.
For sure. How long of a frame would you say is a generation? Because that's to me, those are the lines of,
Woo!
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Before you say that, I'm going to say this. By definition, a generation is considered 50 years.
50 years?
50 years.
Shit.
Generation, and I remember when you went back to like expert and experience and finding that's root.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rooting in the understanding of generation, which I thought was dope when you said that.
Yeah.
Very intellectual. But rooted in the definition and understanding of what generation means is genetics. You know what I'm saying? And it's really a genetic line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So meaning a lot of people when they say hip hop wise, they think of generation 5, 10 years, which is really selling ourselves short as a generation.
Yeah.
Because we're moving too fast, styles and shit.
Okay, well, so.
But I really think the word is era.
Okay, era. There you go. That's what I'm looking for.
So
in that era.
What was the time frame of an era in hip hop?
I'd say, man, cats don't stay around for too long, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have somebody that has one hit, I guess you could say, throughout their whole entire musical career. You know what I'm saying? But they can have bangers where they from. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know how music travels. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that a motherfucker put a song out and it take 9 months for you to even hear it on your side of the wherever you at, because he popping in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you can go platinum in Texas. What, like 7 million people out here now?
It's like in Houston, it's like 7, 8 million.
It's like 7 million people in Houston.
But that's Dallas is 4, 5 million people.
You know what I'm saying?
Austin is 1 million.
So you could move around. You could do a Texas tour and go platinum where you at.
Right.
And nobody on the West Coast know who the fuck you are. You know what I'm saying?
That's because new is perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anything could be new. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get caught up in trying to figure out, stay honed in on what's new, you'll miss out what's really new to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
I feel like yes, I feel like an era you could possibly say maybe like, you know, the span of their career, you could say like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Between 5-10 years, like what is your impact within that 5 to 10 years that you're doing what you're doing? And you know, I would say that. I would say like eras like 10 years.
Okay, check me out. An era is about, I'm gonna say an era 10 years. Because hip hop standard, considering the longevity of someone's like run, their buzz, considering the waves, the styles, the trends, how things transfer, and how they permeate socially.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say about 10 years. The hip hop has its 80s, it has its 90s, it has its early 2000s, and the generation people don't really talk about, or not generation, but era people don't really talk about like deeply is the one that's currently going on.
Yeah.
And that's because it's still going on. But we are in 2019, we're at the end. So just considering from 2010, this generation, because a lot of people don't realize that the cycle's about to turn us again.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the most influential nationwide, worldwide in this era? In your perspective?
Man, Drake.
Think so?
Yeah, man. Just because, like, I put Drake and LeBron James in the same kind of situation, the same kind of pit.
Do you consider Drake a hip hop artist though?
I think that let me get that point so that way you can see where I'm coming from as far as saying that he's a hip hop artist. I think that the things that he's done for the genre as a whole. Do I agree with having ghostwriters? You know what I'm saying? Because that's up in the air. They say, you know, you're not the best if you have a ghostwriter, right?
Right.
So I can't put him in a position of saying that he was the best hip hop artist. But in terms of, that's like the same thing with LeBron James. They say that you can't be the greatest of all time if you swap teams, if you've moved from one spot to the next, because Jordan era was the Bulls, Kobe era was the Lakers, Julius Erving was the Sixers. You know what I'm saying? You got those different time frames, and the I guess you would say either the what's the word that I'm looking for? Extremists, not necessarily extremists, or kind of folks that are like real classical. They saw the way that things started. Yeah, traditional. There you go. They saw the way that things started. And then they feel like because that was the way that it started, that's the way that it's supposed to end. But when you have somebody that comes in and says, okay, well, I was writing my records in the beginning, but then I came with a completely different plot. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in a position to where, cause have you ever, okay, not opinionated, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard a bad Drake song?
For me personally, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
And that's just for me personally. However, I do think Drake is a very, very dynamic artist and a very influential artist. But when I say personally, that goes on my perspective, because traditional hip hop is my foundation, but classical hip hop is my true foundation.
Right.
And a lot of times for me, a lot of Drake songs don't hit for me, but I can see how they hit for a lot of other people.
Okay, so we say, okay, so.
But I have heard some bad Drake songs.
Right. Okay, so when I use bad, I don't mean necessarily the content that will hit home with you. I mean a song that comes out
quality-wise.
Quality.
Right.
Have you ever heard a bad one? Like, man,
yes.
That shit was bad, bro.
Yes.
Like that not just you, but the mainstream media was like, damn, Drake shouldn't put that shit out.
But then when I gauge quality, I don't gauge quality by a personal perspective or mainstream or another perspective. I gauge quality by natural inclination of ability and manipulation of intellectual property.
Okay.
And for me, I'm a Capricorn.
Right.
So for me, in understanding things and being able to move on understanding, there's only two things: really good and trash. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There's no such thing. And I'm willing to understand that for everybody's different, but being that way and having that type of perspective is what led me to create the Green Room, because this is Jay's Green Room.
Right.
And passionately, a part of my atavism of what I'm doing is impressing my opinion on the world.
Okay.
And I do believe that I have heard Drake songs that if you line up music not by genre but by actually creative quality, there are many Drake songs that will be on the lower half.
Okay.
But I respect what he does.
Okay. So
but I don't respect him as a hip hop artist. I do respect him as an artist, but I respect him as an artist in the genre I like to call pop hop.
Pop. Okay, so that's okay.
Yeah.
That's another.
Remember when y'all heard it first?
Yeah,
pop hop. Jay Green.
Jay Green came with that first. That's actually into it.
Yeah,
But so let me attack this in a different way, so that way I can stay on topic of the question that you was asking me, in terms of who was the most influential, right?
Yeah.
So when you see what he's done, right, in terms of being able to come into a position and say, I'm gonna do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of what the traditional people are gonna say, regardless of what the the mainstream or whatever, however it comes out about me, I'm gonna continue to do what it is that I say that I want to do in this position that I have to be able to inspire, right? So Drake has inspired, and a lot of times you wonder, like, what the fuck made a specific person pick up a mic? Because we know it's a lot of motherfuckers that's not supposed to be doing this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in a position to where you say, okay, let's look at how it started. Let's look at the content. Let's look at, because I don't just ride around bumping Drake like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But he got some shit that I say shit hard. You know what I'm saying? But like, when you look at him being in the position to say, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I feel like that's the reason why he was the most influential, because through every single major person taking their shots and saying, nigga, you not hip hop, he still managed to, with help though, I ain't gonna say, you know what I'm saying, because it's out there, you know what I'm saying, when you look at the cats that's getting the writing credits and shit like that behind his music, you know what I'm saying, for somebody to sustain a run for this long and damn near, you know what I'm saying, he ran in the Puff, he ran in the Jay, ran in the, you know what I'm saying, he done ran into the cats that coming up, you would say, like, man, these motherfuckers is the dudes, like, I need to see how he finna make it out of this, or I can't wait to see how he make it out of this, or what he finna do to get up out of this shit, like, damn, is this one gonna get him? You know what I'm saying? The Pusha T situation, all of that shit, you like, is this one gonna get him? But he still managed to continue to do what the fuck he want to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I would say, and vice versa, that's the reason why I said I put him in the same pit as LeBron James, because LeBron has been able to do what the fuck he want to do. At the end of the day, now, initially I was a super LeBron fan, right? When he was by himself in Cleveland, whatever the case may be, and then he made the move to Miami that I wasn't 100% for. But at the end of the day, if you have an open-minded perspective and you take a look around and you say, okay, well, where did this kid come from and what is he doing? And how is it impacting the game? Well, this is a kid from Akron, from the projects in Akron, you know what I'm saying, who lived with his mama, who said that he feared in times that his mama wasn't going to come home. Now he's in the NBA and he can move from team to team, and now from him making a super team, he created a completely different NBA. Now the NBA is beginning to elevate, and you're starting to see players in threes on each team, to where it's like, if you don't have 3 players on each team, you can't win. But initially they hated him for it. But now you're starting to see more and more super athletes. Like, shit, bro. Like, you got Kyrie Irving.
But see,
you know what I'm saying? All of these cats on the same team at the same time.
let me interject.
Go ahead.
For me, when I look at that, and I look at it when you say about Drake and you say about LeBron, I agree with everything you say, except for the facts, the parts where I feel like those things that make him have longevity through all those attacks, Drake-wise, or LeBron still can do what he wants. I think that it's more business.
Yeah.
I think it's more business that allows them to flourish. Because at the end of the day, the majority of the fan base isn't traditional
Right.
or classical.
Right.
But I think what makes them able to flourish is more business than actual artistry. Meaning, yeah, LeBron made it to where you had to have, but that was a business decision. And where I draw the fine line in that, and I'm in a point where I'm wavering over my understanding because I'm not all the way there.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always known business to be the biggest opposer of true art. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like business. I even wrote a poem once called "The Art of Business" and put it together. And I feel like business-wise, that's what allows them to flourish. And I also feel like culturally, like basis, kind of like how you said you live by a Christian value, and the main thing you always said is to treat others how you always be treated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I still am one of those people who feels like just how that principle is heavy in Christianity, it's every religion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the principle of you have to write your own motherfucking rhymes, no ifs, ands, or buts, is what makes it hip. It makes it the hippest hop.
Yeah.
Some people bop, some people rock, some
Yeah.
people swing, some people jazz, but the hip hops. They skip certain shit and they land with a force.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I respect your mind. I respect where you're coming from, and I'm not saying these things to overtake you or go against you. I'm literally mind boxing with you, and I'm just being wholehearted to my perspective, and I'm sharing with you.
And I really appreciate that though, because a lot of times it's like, okay, whenever with the Kobe and LeBron thing, you could never have no real life basketball conversation with a
And
nigga.
we were supposed to talk about basketball, and we're here now.
Yeah, right. But it goes hand in hand, right? You could never have a real life basketball conversation with a motherfucker that grew up loving Kobe. Your daddy loved Kobe. Your uncle loved Kobe. Everybody loved Kobe, right? And then you got somebody that loves LeBron. Your people love LeBron, right? So we could never meet in the middle without us getting to a point of a fan's perspective. Like, and you like, hell nah. You know what I'm saying? So for you to say, you gotta write your raps, I 100% agree with that. And when you say that business can block out a lot of true artistry, you're 100% correct. There's no lies in nothing that you said just now. So, but when you're talking about being judged overall in terms of the specific profession, because we know for a fact that it's a couple other niggas that was probably colder than Jordan in the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple other niggas that's probably colder than Kobe. But when you're talking about the terms of the profession and being a professional,
Business is
a part of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Though it might block out a lot of the true artistry. I feel like true artistry comes in whenever you understand your specific profession. Whenever you say, okay, well, now I got to take the time to be able to understand this. So the cats, like in music, that's the coldest in what they do. When you talk about Cole going platinum with no fee, or I say Russ, right? Russ is somebody that for me, in terms of like his personality and the kind of shit that he showcased via like his interviews and shit like that, I don't know how we would rock in terms of having conversations, but in terms of the respect that I have for him in the artistry overall, and him integrating that with his business at the same time, he make his own beat, write to the beat, mix and master his own shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking huge.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not too many niggas that you know that will even have the fucking patience to say, I'm finna go learn how to make beats. Me personally, I like, initially in the beginning of my career, I already told all of my homies, like, man, I'm finna focus on the rap. I want to be the best lyricist that I can be. I want to be the best artist that I can be. I'll never let another motherfucker touch my pen. Like, this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
But at the same time, I know that in stepping forward into the next level, it's going to be a time frame where I have to be able to say, I learned that language. Because an engineer speaks a completely different language than a rapper. You got a rapper that can come in with some words, but if your engineer trash, your music going to be trash too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, in a position, and like how we was having a conversation before, if you don't have your business in order, you could put out 30, 40, 50 songs, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And though your artistry is A1, A-list, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
In terms of the profession, you'll never be able to put yourself in a position to say that I was pitted against the best because you didn't take your time to put that into perspective at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
I totally understand. And when you say these things to me, I'm listening to you genuinely, and I'm not being biased, and I'm understanding you, and I'm taking I'm taking what you're saying, and I'm elevating myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gaining understanding, I'm gaining knowledge, and I'm seeing where it contrasts my perspective. And I still, have certain rudiments that I'm stuck to, but in reply to that, I just say that I'm gaining understanding, and I can't wait till we do the next interview.
Yeah,
The next interview might be just on some shit, but
yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I respect it. And right now I'm at a point, hip hop wise, just rap music wise, where I'm kind of struggling with the understanding of what makes you the most influential in your era and your time, and because I come from the understanding that hip hop influence is based upon, the greatest influence is based upon where it carries young black youth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand the music, I understand the business, I understand the artistry, and the business is a big part in making your artistry valid, because for one, if you don't have quantity, you can't have quality.
Yeah.
In the music business. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just trying to figure it out, and I'm just kicking back, and I'm glad I got to chop it up with you, because listening to your perspective is added to my perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like we gonna leave that one up in the air right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I respect your mind, bro. I respect your mind. Where you coming from, and I see what you're saying, and it's just about finding definitive points where we can say, hey, this is it. But I respect, that Drake has done a lot for the game. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
A lot for the game. Before we get to the end of our interview, you know what I'm saying? I need to talk about your music.
Yeah.
Okay?
For sure.
All right, so I've heard you have 3 songs on YouTube.
Right, 2 songs actually.
2 songs, 2 videos, 2 songs.
Yeah.
Okay, now I just want to let you know, a lot of people have 10 songs.
Yeah.
And no videos.
Yeah.
Some people have 20 songs and 1 video, 3 songs, 1 video. So having 2 songs and 2 videos is, to me, is big. You know what I'm saying? And I see the artistry in it, and I see the business in it. The business. So I look at your songs, Freedom and Decisions, and I love songs that are one word. The title is one word. I love it because it gives you like a very bold, like, perspective understanding. You know what I'm saying? Of those 2 songs, which would you say is the dopest one?
Of those 2 songs, and I got a lot of music. I actually, like, it's crazy because all of my homies are against me on it. But it's all, like I said, it's all been about putting the business behind the artistry. Because once I made that move, to be honest with you, and it's kind of wild that I'm that driven, but at the same time, it's like, man, how many niggas I've been rapping for? At the time, I had been rapping for maybe fucking 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I put out Rap Hustle, which is not up anymore, which, I'll be able to reintroduce to the public in a different way. My core fans are gonna be mad at me about it when it gets reintroduced, and they're gonna be like, bro, you already put that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been listening to this, but once the mainstream gets a hold of it, they're gonna be like, they're gonna jam it, and everybody else gonna be like, I've been heard this shit. But like, me putting myself in a position to where I say, okay, I put out Rap Hustle, and literally the next day, when I tell you the next day, Face hit me on Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
It's loud.
Like,
That's a motherfucker.
A motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and having that, not even public cosign, but having that cosign and him telling me, nigga, you dope. Like, don't get lost. That put me in a position to say, okay, I need to take this business. I need to take this shit serious. You know what I'm saying? So, and having those 2 songs out is I say Freedom is going to be the dopest, because that was a time whenever I was putting things together. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at what it is in the actual backdrop of what I'm doing. What am I doing this for? I'm doing this to be free. Right. I'm doing this to put myself in a position of, and not to be lazy, because a lot of motherfuckers misconstrue once you put in a specific amount of work that you get up or you just get a bag and then you're done.
Nah.
It don't work that way.
Nah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, really, the reason why it's the dopest is because it was the way that I'm coming into the game. Me introducing myself to people, I can get fresh as shit just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But in that video, I wanted to introduce the world around me. I wanted to introduce versatilities. If you see, I'm in there with a black dude, a Mexican dude, a white dude, an Indian dude.
And you're in California.
And I'm in California. You feel what I'm saying? So to be able to showcase diversity, to be able to give that message, you know what I'm saying? Like in starting off, like the way that I introduced the song is to all the haters in my mix. And here's what you've been waiting for: some attention. Wish I would mention you in my latest flow, don't you?
Yeah, as you spit that, I can hear the song just boom.
You feel me? Like hope I rise so you can see me fall in slow motion. Keep wishing as I pay you don't mind, cause living in America I got bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying?
Is that you singing on the hook?
Yeah, it's me.
You know what I thought was dope about that? When I heard you singing, I was like, damn, okay, nigga sing, kind of sing a little bit.
Yeah.
The first hook and the second hook are the same exact words, the same melody. However, they're sung differently. Yeah. With different emotional, like.
The reason, and I did that for a reason.
That's dope.
And that's a part of artistry. And a part of business all in the same ticket. Because when you say, how many people in the majority of the world can really sing? It's not too many people that just got, not from that perspective, not gloating. I'm talking about in real life, like as a boss, as somebody that's looking at and watches and has been to concerts and shit like that. How many people do you know that can just really just flat out sing? There's not too many. No. So whenever you put yourself in a position to be able to make something that somebody's not intimidated to sing, you feel what I'm saying? You turn on Trey Songz, motherfucker going like, your voice might crack, whatever, motherfucker gonna laugh at you, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? If everybody's in the same room singing the same song, everybody might not sing it with the same aggression and the same intensity, right? But when you hear freedom and I'm singing it the way that I'm singing it, I wanted to make it inviting for people. I wanted people to be able to hear it and say, damn, that's dope. I've been working so hard that I forgot what it feel like to be free. Like, and I can sing, like my voice can crack, my whatever the case, however it pops off. You know what I'm saying? However I decide to sing this specific song, with the intensity that I sing it, I won't be intimidated because he not on that motherfucker like just trying to go extremely hard. But in that point where I have that bridge to be able to showcase that talent is for me to be able to punch you in your chest and say, bruh, this is how I feel about this shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like Freedom will probably be the hardest one so far. But I got other records that'll be just, man, I got some shit in the hole. That's
what's up. And when I listen to your shit and I see your setup, I see how you maneuver on Instagram, online, how you maneuver, I see your videos, the quality, I see the songs, the quality and the way you're moving. I feel like that you're the type of dude who's gonna really put shit together the right way before you put it out. So I understand that not only do you have something coming, but that's like, I can't wait to see what kind of way you come with it. I mean it's genuinely like, I fuck with your music. I'm a big hip hop fan, and I love lyrics. I love all kind of shit. But you got that. I think Decisions is more lyrical. Yeah, definitely. And I like that. I don't have the line all the way, but in my head, where it's something about the timeline. You scroll like something.
Oh yeah, experience brings knowledge. And what I say, I was talking about my pops. That's crazy. That song is extremely controversial, bro. Yeah. Like the first time, and actually both beats I actually got from Scarface's son, Chris, is my partner. But like that beat, Decisions, I made that song. The second verse wasn't initially a part of the song. It was supposed to be just like a run through. Like I wanted to be like a rap and a hook, and then it's over with. You know what I'm saying?
It literally sounds like that.
Yeah.
But it's like you have the hook, but the hook sounds like how niggas at the end of their verse might just double up something. Yeah. It sounds like that, and then you come back. So it's like you get that vibe of a run through.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just dope.
And so that's and I'm glad you picked that up. That's dope because it's dope. It's dope to listen to somebody that's really fucking with hip hop though, because you know you got certain people that's like, oh, I like that. You know what I'm saying? But when you can actually dissect it and listen to it and see how it came about it, it's dope. But that song, actually, I had that song for like maybe a year. And then if you listen to the second, when you listening to the second verse, I pop off January 11, 2015. I lost my brother, and so and that was the instance to where I said, okay, like I'm gonna take this motherfucker like to the next level and try to make it as personal as possible. But when I said what I say, I was talking to my dad. Cause I was trying to figure out in that time frame, man, like that my partner Royce, we sorry, rest in peace to him. But he's a part of like a clique of 3 brothers that I've known my whole entire life since I was 5 years old.
That shit was tight. I like that.
Yeah, and so like when we lost him, it's like when you lose a homie, like that's that influential, because it's like my partner Hood is like the OG of us all. You know what I'm saying? He was getting in the shit. He the one that put me on the 50 Cent.
Okay.
And really like kind of got my brain flowing in terms of different types of rap, right? So then you had my partner Royce, which is the one who passed away, was the middle cat, which was real neutral, which was like who when we got introduced, who I looked up to the most, because he was real neutral. He was always real cool. It was just, I was like, what we get into? That's what we finna do? Fuck it, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? He was real mutual. And then my partner Blake, who was the youngest, who I related to the most because we were the youngest, who is more so the hothead. Like when it's time for us, we get into something, he gonna pop off, and it's like, shit, niggas, you don't want them mad because it's gonna be bad for you. You know what I'm saying? In real life. But then you got that cat that's like when you lose the cat, that's the mutual side of it. You know what I'm saying? The cat that's in the middle, that's like, man, bro, like, I never would have fucking saw this coming. You know what I'm saying? In the manner that he passed away from cancer. So like, I was writing from a point of discombobulation. You know what I'm saying? The line is like, what I say, I couldn't believe he died at 25. When I say I called my pops and asked him why, he told me, son, quit stressing, give it to God. He doesn't make mistakes, stay focused. It's your time. The world is changing and they looking for what you got. Like, I literally was in a position to where I'm trying to figure this shit out, bro. Cause it's like, man, you got niggas out here that's doing the most wildest shit. You know what I'm saying? You got all types of different things. You know what I'm saying? And he told me, experience, what the line is, experience brings knowledge, and this game is for the wise guys, but nothing's more expensive than your time, dog. Grind is up to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't understand how precious and how expensive time really is until somebody that you know runs out of it.
Like a motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's a big piece of what made that song so serious to me. Like it's gonna be, and for me, I was really like, it's funny because I wasn't even gonna put that shit out, bro.
That's the
like,
one, man.
That first, when I put the first run through together, my partners was like, dog, like, nah, this the one. Cause I did that shit one take, bro. Yeah. Like the first verse was just like, I didn't even like the beat. It was like my partner, Chris, had sent it to me and was like, bro, write to it, see what you can do to it. So then okay. Yeah. The epidemic shall be televised, where the hell arise, rain, sleet, shine, grinding. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just went in, and it was just me and my engineer. Yeah. And I finished it, whatever, and I just kind of like put it in the hole. But then when I knew that it was the one that I had to, my partner LD just lost his brother not too long ago. Right. Shout out to that nigga, every nigga. But he lost his brother not too long ago, and they played it in the car with him. And everybody that I run was older than me. I don't run with nobody younger than me. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm in a position to where like, you know, I feel like I can learn from you. You know what I'm saying? But like, to be in a position to where I see one of my partners that's like a peer. You know what I'm saying? You older than me. You know what I'm saying? You doing what you doing. But like when I see you cry, I said he's listening to the song and he heard it, and I seen him cry. And I was like, shit, man. Like, I did something.
That's heavy,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? Like, I did something that I did what I wanted to do. Yeah, I touched somebody. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the reasons why I said, yeah, I got to go ahead and make this one of the 2 that I put out first.
For sure. Okay, hell yeah. Man, that's dope. I fuck with that. When do you think when's the next shit come? What can we expect next?
Well, right now, I'm pushing these videos. I'm doing a lot of. I'm gonna be doing a lot of different blog placements, trying to get everything on World Star just to put it in front of a more widespread audience, and just be able to boost that following. And really, I'm listening. I'm keeping my ear to the fans. When the fans say, You know what I'm saying? Trying to stay as active as, making sure that I stay as active as possible. Right now I'm really working on dropping this clothing brand, which is gonna be super dope. Because it doesn't have anything to do with the artistry side of Misfit. It's just like it's
you gonna call it Clothing Line Misfit?
Nah, it's actually called Astronauts Anonymous.
Okay.
And you know, we'll get into that. But I'm really just keeping my ear to the people that support me and the fans whenever they feel like you know, whenever I've given them what I feel like I could give them as far as the promotion and putting this in a position to where I could say this is how Misfit is coming initially. Yeah. And then they say, hey bro, we ready. Then, you know, because I got maybe 6 singles lined up, videos already, you know what I'm saying, done and ready to be implemented. You know what I'm saying?
Surprised though, we ain't got no date.
Nah, ain't no dates. Ain't no dates just yet. Yeah. Just staying, like I said, just keeping my ear there and just watching and from a business perspective, just watching how it is. Because a lot of times you can put music out that man, it just don't have the same kind of impact. You know what I'm saying? And then for me, like right now, it's more informational driven when I get people to, or I think whenever I'm gonna start releasing is when I get the idea that people understand where I'm coming from. They understand who I am and what it is that I'm doing. And then I get more into popping my shit. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I do these interviews, because I hope to not only be that bridge and kind of, you know, I want to get to know more about you too. So shit, yeah, I feel it. I see it's coming, man. Yeah. And I think it's gonna be dope. I can't wait to see the next shit. Now, how you made your partner cry, right, on that one? Is Drake making people cry like that? Is Drake making people cry like that?
Ah man, I don't know from like a real nigga perspective. I ain't gonna lie, he be saying some real shit. Like I think when people found out that he wasn't writing this shit or that he had somebody behind him that was writing this shit, he lost that element.
You can ask my partner Damian from Dallas, Texas. Nigga, that for years I was saying, nigga. I was saying for years that nigga ain't writing that shit, man. Yeah. And when that shit popped, I would call that nigga first, like, nigga, I told you I could feel it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, I think he lost that element of saying, you know, like, because at first you was listening to him and you'd be like, man, this nigga be saying some real ass shit.
Yeah, he do. He says real shit from a very elite social standpoint, from somebody who's really like, from somebody who's living the life that he's living and traveling and fucking the bitches he's fucking and making the connections and fuck. He's saying some real shit.
Yeah, he tapping into people's lives, like in real life.
But that lifestyle ain't relevant to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sure. But just on some rap shit, I got Drake. I know you don't do interviews, man. We gotta get you to the green room. Man. Hey, man, talk about it, man.
Come to the green room. My nigga gonna give you the realest interview experience. So don't play with it. Yeah, stay with it. You feel me?
For sure, man. I got so much other shit I want to talk to you about, man. But we're gonna keep it on pause for now. The last thing I had wanted to talk to you about was just, where do you see like not Texas, but the Houston, Texas rap game? This is the last one. Okay. Like, where we at, where we come from, and where we at right now, and where we going? Your opinion, where Houston at right now with the rap shit?
I think it's in a better place than it's been for a few years. Yeah. For the last couple of years, we've been real divided, bro. Like, and it really is the implementation of the new sound. You know what I'm saying? The young cats are coming into a position to where they not necessarily afraid to be something different. That sound that we had in terms of like the country rap tunes, where you had the Slim Thugs, the Lil Flips, the Pimp C's, the Bun B's. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of them cats are historic and they're legends, and nothing that they did will ever die out. Ever. Right. You know what I'm saying? Never. Ever. But I think that the transition from that era, like I was speaking on, I think the transition from that era to this new one was just like any other. You're gonna have growing pains. You know what I'm saying? It's like any other, like starting up a business in any other kind of way. You're gonna have growing pains initially. But I think that we're in a better position than we've been in for a long time, and I feel like the division is starting to decrease. It's still kind of there. Well, not kind of. It's still there. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like I feel like it's gonna get to a better place, and hopefully I can be a driving point. Pimp C was one of the people that I really looked up to in terms of what he did in bringing people together. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't the type of person to be
about that separation.
I ain't nervous. I ain't scared to tell a motherfucker when they fucking up. Like, hey, bro, you bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? That this person is whatever the case may be, because I don't have that. My position isn't to be the best person. My position is to see everything progress all at one time. You know what I'm saying? No matter how it happens. So if I gotta go out and wear a t-shirt on a specific day, or if I gotta go out and go talk to somebody, or if I gotta be in the fucking audience while another nigga rapping, you know what I'm saying? And just to showcase how much I'm fucking with you, so that way everybody else can fuck with you and just and push your movement forward, then that's what I'm about. You know what I'm saying?
That's some real shit.
Yeah, so I think that we in a good spot though. I think that we doing a lot of the right things. I feel like we need the older dudes to step in a little bit more. The motherfuckers that, like, when a motherfucker hear you talk, then it's like, okay, we'll listen to him. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. Not just because everybody got their 2 cents. Everybody got that yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all need to be doing this. I feel like y'all need to be doing this, instead of coaching motherfuckers in what they doing, because niggas is grown men. You know what I'm saying? Right. Once somebody get to a specific point in their life, it ain't too much that you can tell a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we gotta do better in being open-minded to saying, okay, that they've been here and done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then at the same time, they gotta be open-minded to the fact that what they did might not work for us, because it's not the same sound. It's not the same kind of shit. Y'all might not see it the same way that we do. So I feel like, and overall, to answer the question, I feel like we in a better position, and we doing a hell of a lot of shit, man. You got some cold motherfuckers out there, bro. You got some cold motherfuckers out there, from Propane to OTB, Fast Lane, Young Al, OMB Bloodbath. She hard as fuck.
Yeah, definitely.
YB Puerto Rico.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these young cats, that's all of the cats that's a part of the new generation right now. Sauce Walker, a motherfucking legend. You know what I'm saying?
I think so, man. Like, a legend.
His music initially kind of didn't grasp here. I feel it did. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't grasp as stiff as it did when you started seeing everybody just start take their culture from him. You know what I'm saying? Right. But that motherfucker a legend. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga really, like, be rapping too, man.
Yeah, bro. Motherfucker go hard, like.
And the motherfucker.
So like all of them cats collectively, and everybody. DJ EXO is doing this motherfucking thing right now. Everybody.
So much talent in Houston.
Yeah, bro. It's so much. It's a lot of talent out here, bro. Megan Thee Stallion, Harold Louie got that, bro. Nobody go hard than a motherfucker.
Yeah. I recently interviewed Harold Louie. Yeah,
man. I just kind of got a hold to his music and jamming his music.
Man, that motherfucking album, Pain, Passion, Redemption.
Yeah, it's hard.
When I say it's hard, but it's a different type of hard. It ain't that hard like, damn, the nigga got these bars. The nigga could really rap, so don't get me twisted.
Yeah.
But that album,
real. I'm guessing it's real.
It's real because he talking about real shit, real situations, but he ain't talking about the politics and shit of fucking Buttfuck Egypt and all this wild ass shit. But the thing that's dopest about his album is the fact that the sound of that album, the length of it, front to back, everything about it. You could play that album in so many different atmosphere situations. It's for the ladies. It's a mainstream album. It's for the street niggas. Yeah. And it's so underrated. That's one of my favorite albums from last year. I do album reviews too. Yeah. So I'm waiting on you.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
But Harold, shout out to that. Pick that shit up, man.
For real, shout out to that. But I'm really I got to get into the rest of the album. I think I maybe listened to 1 or 2 songs, but I literally for the last 2 days have had nobody on repeat in my shit, bro. No bullshit. Like, I've had that motherfucker on repeat. Like, this shit jamming, and he really keeping it. You know what I'm saying? He keeping it gut on this motherfucker. Man, but yeah, man, we got a lot of talent out here, bro.
About 1501.
We got a lot of talent out here, bro. And I feel like once we find that one, I guess I ain't gonna say that person. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take a collective of different people. But when you find that base of people that say, hey man, alright bro, like, let's get off the bullshit, let's get off the the selfishness, and let's all meet in a room and say, hey, bro, you need to get on his shit. You need to get on his shit. You need to get on his shit. You need to get on his shit.
Yeah.
And not be worried about everybody's person, how you feel about a nigga person, because like I said, bro, everybody, without God, everybody got their own faults and everybody got their own situations. So you might not agree 100% with the way that one nigga move or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about moving forward, the city as a whole, you're talking about moving forward the mentalities of these kids and seeing everybody being able to work together and being able to push the agenda, which is everybody eating. You know what I'm saying?
Like a motherfucker.
Then you'll get into a position to where like shit, we'll be back on top, bro. Because shit, everybody else got our sound integrated in their music. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got our sound integrated in their music. And by the time we realize it, we just mad about it. You know what I'm saying? We just like, fuck. Them motherfuckers sound like us, but it's because they're able to put the bullshit to the side. You know what I'm saying? And just really dive into what needs to be dove into, which is the common goal. You know what I mean?
Where we could be. Man, before we get to the end of this, man, I'd like to say, like I say to anybody else who I invite here, because this ain't no shit you just walk up to. Yeah. It's an honor and a privilege to have you in the green room.
Man, I appreciate you bringing me out, bro. For real. I know you. It took us a while to catch up, but man,
everything works in perfect timing, I feel.
For real.
Yeah. So before we go, man, you got any questions for me?
When the next interview? Nah,
man. Shit, I'm ready for that. On some cool shit, man. I'm really thinking about starting up a podcast. For one, which that would be dope to get that type of lot of shit you was talking about. And then also, you said something that I liked when you was talking about the older niggas and the younger niggas, which is always a common thing. Yeah. And I'm thinking about working on a documentary called Verses versus Versions. For the niggas who came with that old traditional verse rap shit that came up in that era, versus the different versions and the varieties and all that shit. Yeah. And then, like, you know, you never know, man. I would love to get some of that perspective for that shit too. So
yeah, for sure. And then also too, like I'm working on a podcast with some of my homeboys called The Lions Den, and so it'd be cool to have you be a part of that as well. I fuck with your intellect and the way that you come in at this situation, and so yeah, that'd be dope.
I'm down, and I appreciate it.
But yeah, I mean, shit, I got a bunch of questions, you know what I'm saying, for days. But like, we gonna link in, we gonna tap in
for sure, man. Before we let it go, man, Misfit DaVinci, MI$DaVinci, DaVinci, like the artist.
That's on Instagram, that's on SoundCloud, that's on Twitter, that's on everything. It's Misfit DaVinci. I follow the movement, man. Freedom and Decisions out right now. Y'all go check that out. And stay tuned for more. Shout out to Jay and the Green Room, man. Y'all, any artist that's coming up and doing your thing, you hot, he gonna find you. Yeah. And it's a great platform to be on. Shout out to people.